Hey guys, Noel here, and it is Friday night. Well, we got a little bit of time on our hands. I thought it'd be fun to do a live stream for the Noel ComiX YouTube channel. Family's asleep. I'm awake. I didn't go to the gym today because everyone's just having trouble figuring out each other's schedules. So I'm a little more energized. I mean, I love going to the gym. That energizes me, but it also makes you really tired when you come home. So I have a little energy to burn. We got a little time. Why don't we spend it together? I'm just going to refresh my screen and make sure everything's coming through okay. Okay, well, hopefully my audio is looking good, or sounding good. Looks like everything's coming through okay. I got my laptop showing me the chat and everything. So, right on, right on. I don't know. I've been going through some cosmic fantasy, as you can see right here. I don't know how to point to it. There it is, right there. My whole camera's reversed. I don't know what's going on. We recently just uploaded an exciting episode of the Noel Show, so that's good. And that's on the YouTube channel, and hopefully I'm not cannibalizing views, but I have clipped the TikTok uploads from the show and put them on the channel. So if you are interested in just checking out segments of the show or watching the whole show, it's all on the channel. Santino and I had a lot of fun making it, and it's definitely something that's been a long time coming. Santino and I have a lot of fun, and I also really like to continue my my quest to reclaim and reshape late night television, which has become really bad. So it's not fun. I think it's preachy and politically partisan, and there's no longer a kind of a fun kind of collective humor where we point out the absurdities in our culture and our politics. Now it's just basically let me make some jokes and bemoan Donald Trump and try to engineer the populace based on my cosmopolitan liberal identity, and that's pretty annoying. We also recently did a reaction to the X-Men 97 Disney Plus sequel to X-Men the Animated Series. Feel free to check that out. Um, I pretty much shared all my thoughts in the video. It's hard to judge it without actually sitting down and watching an episode, but if if trends are to be trusted, it's probably not going to be too good. There's in all likelihood going to be a lot of probably political sensibilities of the kind of woke comic book entertainment industry projected into the storylines, and that's probably going to make things a little bit less enjoyable, or I could be totally wrong, but I don't think it doesn't look great. People have been talking about morph being now labeled as like non-binary, kind of retconned. It seems like I think that's kind of a non-starter. If you really wanted to introduce a non-binary character into X-Men, and you really wanted to capitalize on 90s nostalgia, you should put Knights from Nights into Dreams in X-Men right there. You could never really tell what Knights was. Was he a guy? Was he a girl? Was he some kind of androgynous, night creature that, saved Dreamland, or all of the above? That's the kind of thing. If you want 90s nostalgia and non-binary gender issues, that's what you should do. So try to get a hold of Sega of America and just let Morph be Morph. And yeah, I mean, making the women seem less sexy is kind of stupid. But yeah, it is what it is. It's just, I don't know. It's like, if it's made in America, you have to make it so that men won't find it attractive, because we have to find equity. We have to actively act against the interests of the people perceived to have privilege. So put them at a targeted disadvantage and just let the people who are considered disadvantaged do whatever the hell they want in the name of leveling the playing field. It's a horrible philosophy that ends up screwing everyone. You know? And I mean, in corporations, like corporate capitalism, like loves the concept of equity, because what it means is everyone gets screwed. So, you know, for example, you know, let's say this, like you have different people at your corporation that are doing a job, right? And one person's job is a little easier than another person's. And so then the person in a worse position is like, well, that's not fair. His job's easier than mine. And the guy on top can be like, you know what? That's true. Fuck both of you. You both have the hard job now. Like, that's what equity leads to in a capitalist setting. So, you know, I'm all for, you know, looking at the human dignity of people and empathizing with people, but being morally relativistic and just chasing fads because of, you know, the political programming and ideological winds blowing in certain directions for certain subsections of the populace. That's a bad formula, man. So I don't know. You know, I'm just rambling. I didn't watch any wrestling tonight. I just felt like relaxing and doing some leveling up on Cosmic Fantasy. You know, I was watching some Pandemonium videos about the history of the Sega Saturn, which is always a fascinating topic for me because I really like Sega Saturn. That was my console that I had when it was the console I had after the Sega Genesis. My very first game console was, I'm going to lower my camera a little bit so we can get the totality of my Wolfpack shirt here. I'll actually put it back up now because it's a little off center now. Move back a little. You know, I had the Sega Genesis. When it came time to upgrade, the Saturn seemed to be the option because at that point the 32X was kind of being phased out. And so I went with the Saturn, and I never regretted it. But apparently I was one of the few people that went with the Saturn. You know, it's just interesting to me to find out why Saturn had issues. And the more I look at it, kind of methods to the way that the Sega Genesis marketed itself in the 1980s, you know, things would have been a lot better. I mean, obviously people will say that, you know, the 32X, so, you know, my Majin Buu hat here, people will say that the 32X, you know, kind of confused the marketplace as far as the Sega Saturn was concerned. But, you know, to me, I always thought the 32X was cool. I mean, yeah, if you want to save money not making the 32X, great. But to me, the big problem was that you had a lot of really cool games on the Sega Saturn that were left in Japan because they were not considered to translate well to the American marketplace because, you know, they were not 3D enough or something like that. That's like really stupid because, you know, Sega Genesis, you know, at a time when, you know, role-playing games were not that popular, you know, they were bringing out cool stuff like Phantasy Star 2, Phantasy Star on the Master System. You know, they were just like anything that was cool that was out in Japan, you know, they brought it out. Now, sometimes they like repackaged it, like they threw a celebrity on the box. You know, like Taito's Final Blow became Buster Douglas Knockout Boxing. You know, so like there's I can't remember the Japanese baseball game that Tommy Lasorda was based off of. If you actually put Tommy Lasorda baseball in an At Games HD Sega Genesis, it will read the Japanese name of the video game, and it's escaping me at the time. But what I'm trying to say is that like Sega brought over just anything that was good on the Genesis, and probably not every single one, but not every single thing, but they brought a lot of stuff out on the Genesis. They took some risks, and you know, it paid off. So, you know, it seems like PC Engine, TurboGrafx made the same mistake. They left a lot of their best stuff in Japan. You know, they didn't bring out Castlevania Rondo of Blood. You know, and just, you know, a lot of good games were left in Japan. Snatcher, you know, for example. So, you know, like, what do you expect? You know, you leave your best games in Japan, and then you get someone like Bernie Stolar saying like, oh, you know, Sega Saturn, don't worry about it. We're getting rid of that, you know, in short order. Like, you know, it's funny because like 1998, you know, that was when, you know, Japan was having such success with, Sega Sanshiro and, like all that stuff. And if you take a look, like America, like had nothing, so. I mean, honestly, like there was this Pandemonium video. It's called like Death of a Titan or Slow Death of a Titan or something, and it talks about like the issues involving the decline of the Sega Saturn. And at the very end, it's like, well, if you were Bernie Stolar, what would you do? And what I would do is I would just start what's working in Japan. Sega Sanshiro. People in the West today love Sega Sanshiro. Okay, it communicates well. There's a cool, tough guy beating people up who aren't playing Sega Saturn. It's absurd. It's fun. It's, definitely something that I think would have cross-cultural appeal. So I would start running those commercials subtitled. And then, just bring over cool games and try to advertise them as best as you can. Like Marvel superheroes versus Street Fighter. And even games like, Burning Rangers and stuff like that, like Winter Heat, those were like barely, I don't remember seeing any commercials for those, bring up Deep Fear, have that be your counter to Resident Evil, so I don't know, man. It's just they just Lunar the Silver Star story, like, they left a lot of cards on the table over in Japan, and just it didn't work out. And there's definitely, I mean, even if you could, let's even say that people like have this idea that PlayStation is, graphically superior. Sometimes it was, sometimes it wasn't. You could definitely create a unique identity, like we're the cool Japanese console with higher quality gameplay, whether or not we can shade a sphere as well as the PlayStation is kind of irrelevant. It would be kind of like the situation of, well, the Super Nintendo has more colors than the Sega Genesis. It's like, yeah, well, the Sega Genesis plays better than the Super Nintendo, so what are you going to do? So yeah, actually, speaking of that, that definitely was not always the case, but we also did recently just review the WWF Royal Rumble on the Super Nintendo, which is a great game. We have that on both the Genesis and the Super Nintendo, and we reviewed the Super Nintendo version recently, both on the YouTube channel and on the TikTok channel. It really kind of floors me, just how much more views I get on TikTok. And I like YouTube better as a platform, because YouTube is like more like watching TV, right? YouTube's more like cable access television. And my dream was to always have a cable access television show. Well, now I have it because YouTube is like, the cable access of the 21st century. But yeah, I tell you, it's like, I'll get like 12 views on a YouTube video after I upload it. Then I'll get like 600 views on the same video on TikTok, So I don't know. I think TikTok just it gives the little guy more of a chance. Whereas I think YouTube is understanding that, they're increasingly becoming like a mainstream media source of information. And so they're prioritizing videos that they think will kind of meet their bottom line, as opposed to having to be like it used to be, which is more kind of like the Wild West. It's open, we go mine for whatever you find interesting, and then just let it kind of blow up. I mean, I do think also that people's viewing habits are also changing as the platform is changing. I mean, you have to have a certain type of appreciation for certain types of videos. Like, if you're someone who really likes the early 2000s style YouTube videos, you'll find comfort in those and might even find them refreshing. But if you're someone who is now getting used to really slick edited YouTube videos, that are like, mini, like they're produced like television shows or like documentaries or something like that, even if they're just made by one or two people, I mean, there's videos like that I love, but then there's also videos where it's just like, I just wish I could just like find someone like me talking about something that I find interesting, So anywho, well, the chat is quiet, so feel free to comment if you're watching. It looks like only 2 people are watching right now, which I guess goes with my point. Although it's a Friday night, so I don't know, man. Like, usually I stream on Saturdays, and I could still stream on Saturday. So yeah, there's that. I'm trying to figure out what we should do. I guess we can always start off with some Cosmic Fantasy. I did hook up the Neo Geo Mini to the Commodore 64 1084S monitor behind the camera that's going through S-Video. I did find an interesting cable for that thing that I think I want to order on eBay. It's a DIN to component cable, and I'm curious to try it out because that's got an RGB option, and all these SCART cables that I've tried on it don't seem to work, but I do have a component to SCART converter. So I wonder what would happen if those cables have the right wiring that's needed to sync the image to that monitor. Because the problem is that monitor takes a specific type of sync that professional video monitors, more mainstream, what's cooking, funny looking. And someone named Y said that. Hi Y, how you doing? What's cooking? I don't know, my brilliant insights, my well-groomed, stubble beard, my Majin Buu hat, my cool 2000s glasses, which were recently purchased from Zenny, where dreams come true. How's tricks? That's not too shabby, I would like to be drawn some more cartooning, do a little more manga. There is, I think, a manga contest that is coming up. It's hard to do. I don't know. It's like, when you feel like you're probably not going to win and you've got limited free time. But at the same time, it's like, what really even is the point of winning? Just do what you want to do. And the more you try, the better you get at a craft that you love, and then you can just upload it to the internet. But, then again, I definitely have a very niche audience, of which you are a part of. Why? Thank you, by the way, for watching. I wonder what Y stands for. Probably yes, Yancey, maybe. Yo-yo. Maybe you're creative and spell unicycle with a Y. Like Yuna from Final Fantasy X. Maybe your name is Yuna. That could be a good thing too. Exactly. Yeah, right on, right on. See, this person gets it, which is true. Thank you for sharing your exciting views. All right. So, I am always saying that I'm going to start playing the game, and then I find something to start rambling about. So, Cosmic Fantasy right now. Playing through Cosmic Fantasy 1. It's only on the PC Engine in Japan. It's the first time it's ever been released in the United States. But I was a big fan of Cosmic Fantasy 2 on the TurboGrafx. I try my best. Well, that's good. Because if you don't try your best, who will? And that's a good advice for me to follow, right? If I don't bet on myself, who will? So right on. Yeah. I've really been wanting to, I've been lucky. I've had February break all week, and I have gotten to do some stuff that I want to do, but I have not succeeded in beating Cosmic Fantasy, which is one of my goals for February break. But I guess the best thing I did was make a new episode of the Noel Show. So if you haven't checked that out, man, or miss, check it out. I interview Columbo, Taylor Swift, and we dial some 1-900 numbers to see if they're still active. What might be fun is to actually dial the 1-900 numbers live on stream, because I'm one of the few people that actually still has a landline, because I like having a landline in my game room, because I always try to live in all portions of my life that I've ever lived in, right? From the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and now 2020s. I try to have the best version of every Noel from that time period coexisting. And, landlines were a big part of, the 80s, 90s, and 2000s Noel. So I could never imagine having like a bedroom or a game room without a landline. You've been seeing some commotion about that game. Cosmic Fantasy? It's good stuff. I love it. It is basically like Sci-Fi Dragon Quest on the TurboGrafx or PC Engine CD, um, and it's good. The first one is very grindy. It's more grindy than the first one, so you definitely got to do a lot of leveling up. But it's got cool anime cutscenes. I love the artwork, and it's got great music as well. So, Cosmic Fantasy 2 is great. I mean, Cosmic Fantasy 1, from what I've played of it, is good, but it's very like 80s JRPG, which is not a bad thing, but it just is very like it doesn't really embellish a lot on the story. It's got a good story, but it's kind of it's communicated in a very blunt way, which I do enjoy. But Cosmic Fantasy 2 tells the story in a little bit more sophisticated way. And it's got a lot of interesting stuff. Although I'm not that far into Cosmic Fantasy 1, so I should probably wait before I make any definitive judgment calls on it. So, all right, well, let's play some Cosmic Fantasy, and we'll get down to it. So, we got our good friend, the Nintendo Switch, over here. So, we'll move our camera like so. And we'll position this. Get nice and... Let me back this up just a smidge. Okay. Do. All right, there we go. All right, now where's our old trusty controller? Yes, let's. Okay. Okay, let's turn our volume up a smidge. Okay. Okay. So, we just got an ocarina that soothed the soul of a ghost, which is always a good thing to do. Let's see what we got in this store here. Why don't we buy some healing herbs, give them to Saya. And actually, I had a student named Saya. She was a really good kid. I used to hang out with her mom a little bit. Who was also a cool person. I don't know what moondrops are. I'll give that to Saya too. I have no idea what that is. And one thing that's great about this game is the anime portraits when you go to certain places. There's a female knight. Well, let's go check her out here. Now, I think I'm supposed to go east, if I remember what the walkthrough said. No, I'm gonna go up here. So there's a fork. I'm gonna... Well, so here comes our fight here. Cool thing about this game, even though it's grindy, it does have, that nice auto battle feature. It's been a while since I've done just a straight screen sharing stream. Because I do have a lot of good mobile games on this phone, and one of the ones I did like to play was Lunar Silver Star Story, so... I remember it saying I was supposed to go east, but there's like nothing to the east here, so... I like these Warazu looking Donkey Kongs here. I'm probably gonna die here. Yeah, I died. One bad thing about this game, and it's not really bad, but like, it's kind of hard to stay. I'm used to grindy games at this point. Yeah, grindy games are cool. You really got to stock up on tents if you're gonna go out in the world map, So it's a little easy to get KO'd if you're not careful. And I'm at the right level. I'm at like level 19, and the walkthrough I was looking at said I was supposed to be at level 18. So I wonder if they got any good new weapons around here. There's the inn. Good thing about the inn is you can It's really easy to level up, actually. You can just go to the inn, rest, autosave. I mean, the inn will cost you a little money, but the money you get from grinding will give you more than enough. So, I don't even know if there is a weapons shop here. Do 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 do. West beyond the river. Maybe that walkthrough was wrong. Maybe it was supposed to be east instead of west. I love how enemies. Yeah, so do I. I like first person views for fighting. I like that Dragon Quest style because, you know, that really gives a lot of emphasis to the monster designs, you know. And for a game like Dragon Quest, it was really cool because Toriyama had such colorful and cool designs, and this has really nice designs as well. Not that I mind the Final Fantasy style or the Chrono Trigger style. Please don't die. I gotta heal up here, like, immediately. But yeah, I like first-person view. Well, let's pass on through. Fighting a necromancer. Not to be confused with Daisuke Asakura's album Electromancer. Come on, don't die, don't die. That's a good one. I love that victory music too. Let's hope Sai doesn't run out of MP here, because I'm in dire need of healing. Usually the auto battle will take good care of you as long as you're leveled within range. Should I have a tent? I don't think she's got any more. I don't think I have a tent anymore. Yeah. Do 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 do. My favorite RPG battle views are the ones where the enemies are huge compared to the player character. I do like that a lot too. Yeah, like, I can definitely think of some really good, you know, Final Fantasy bosses that look like that, you know. I'm at level 14. It's my HP situation. She just leveled up, so that's good. So she's going to have restored stats, so that's going to be helpful. Oh shit, I shouldn't have wasted that on... I'm an idiot. You know, but it's dumb though, because, like, I mean, one of my favorite YouTube channels is Now in the 90s, where they talk about video games that came out 30 years ago today, every Friday, you know? And, you know, a few months ago they did Cosmic Fantasy 2, and they were kind of criticizing the game for, like, looking and being dated, but that's not a problem, you know? Oof, that was really, really close. I need healing immediately. It's gonna need, like, double healing. Anybody can just use some healing herbs here. Okay, good enough. Cool salivates, don't we all? Little Samson had an emphasis. You know, I have Little Samson on my Chinese Famicom. Ah! I wish this place would sell tents. Yeah, I don't sell any. Yeah. On a live stream not that long ago, I was playing Little Samson on it. Maybe I should like level up more. Because I mean, I was having some issues in that area. I mean, I was holding my own okay, but I mean, if I'm getting KO'd, maybe I should go up to like level 20 or something here. Yeah, it is Chinese. It's so hang on. I'll show you it later. Like it looks identical to an actual Famicom, except it's got rather than having wires hardwired into the back, it's got wires that you plug in, cords that you plug into the front. So I got like a 9-pin controller port. And it's actually loaded with games. If you don't, like, even if you don't put a cartridge in, it's gonna like it's loaded with a bunch of ROMs, and it's got like an option for Chinese and English. I actually reviewed it on my channel. It's worth checking out if you're interested. You know, it's a good it's a good Famiclone, and it looks identical. Almost. The only thing that's like not 100% identical to the original Famicom is it's got a little LED light in the front, and the controller ports are different. But you know, other than that, I mean, like the hardware quality of the original Famicom is going to be the best. But this is it's a interesting product. It's called the FC Compact 2. And yeah, I'll show it to you later on the stream. Is there literally any difference between the Chinese and Japanese Famicom? Yeah, the Japanese Famicom is of a higher quality. It's going to play the games more accurately if there's any kind of weirdness. So, like, for example, you know, probably a game like Jesus, the Dreadful Trial of the Dreadful Biomonster, Metal Slayer Glory, you know, those could potentially. You know, I don't have Metal Slayer Glory, but I do have Jesus on a Famicom cartridge, and the Famicom cartridge of Jesus won't play right on the Famicom, on the Chinese Famicom, but on the Japanese one it'll play fine. And so Metal Slayer Glory, which is you know, another really heavy hitting, graphically sophisticated game, like, you know, I don't know if that would work on that. My guess is it wouldn't, but I would say like for 97% of games, it'll play just fine. We actually on a few, not too many streams ago, we had some fun. We had some fun playing that Famicom. It's got some great games, and then it's got some really weird bootleg games like Bandits, which is this like cursed version of Donkey Kong 3. But then it's got like other really good games where they got like, you know, giant anime sprites and stuff, and it just plays great. One of my favorite Famicom games, any exclusive games? Nah, it's a Famiclone, so anything that played on the Famicom, you know. Well, you know what? Now that you say exclusive games, there are some games that, you know, were like Chinese bootleg games, you know, just like really like weird games that you would find like in the annals of an at games console. You know, like those are some of those are like built into the system. So yeah, those I guess would be your exclusives. But you know, I can't think of like, you know, them being marketed as proprietary hardware or proprietary software. You know, so it's basically a it's a aesthetically pleasing Famiclone that whatever has been released, you know, that can play on a Famicom, you know, post Famicom, will probably pop up on those types of consoles, if that makes sense. I should probably buy some smelling salts because I have a feeling like, and it's not a feeling, it's accurate. Like one of the reasons I was like losing those battles was because like one of my characters, they'd get like put to sleep. So if I had some smelling salts, that would wake them up. Yeah, I'd say everyone's pretty much full up here. Let's see how much more I gotta do to level here. You know, it's screw it. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna save one more time now that I bought that stuff. Alright, let's get moseying on here. There's a very high encounter rate on this game. Ape calls for help. Remember a bootleg, a Brazilian double dragon bootleg. That sounds interesting. Brazil was able to get a lot of really cool games on their Master System because their Master System went on to like the 2000s, you know? Like they would get like ports of Game Gear games on that thing, you know, so. Why, have you ever watched, Aqua Teen Hunger Force? I say this because that ape reminds me of Santa Claus. If you get the joke, you'll know what I'm talking about. And Christmas was celebrated every year in front of the great red ape. Like Santa Claus was a, you know, prehistoric ape who, enslaved a race of elves who, you know, all ended up dying in their, you know, burial ground was underneath the Aqua Teen Hunger Force's neighbor's pool. And so the pool was filled with blood. So Carl had to sell his house. But he got some good money for it because Danzig, the heavy metal guy, wanted to buy it. So they were visited by the ghost of the cybernetic ghost of Christmas past from the future. Keep forgetting to watch that show. It's good. Toward the end, it gets too dark. Like, you know, it was kind of like once they figured out that they didn't have to worry as much about censors, they got kind of sloppy with the humor, and it wasn't as good. Like, it was best when it was like a kind of like a warped cartoon, but it was like it understood that it was within the framework of a cartoon, right? So it wasn't like, oh, let's just use shock humor. It was like, all right, we're on the Cartoon Network and we can get weird, but we have to be aware that we're on the Cartoon Network, you know? And so that puts certain, you know, kind of limits on their humor, which, you know, I think enhance the creativity. Yeah, so it kind of reminds me of Cuban healthcare. You know, its limitations, I think, have led it to be creative and therefore productive. Whereas if you have like no limits, then you don't have as much discipline and creativity in your thinking. Don't die. Yes! I am supposed to go east, I think, here. I do remember a clip about aliens explaining his origin. Yes. Where's the N? I need an N. N. Where's my N? There's a weapons shop. There's the N. Alright. Hey, Brian. How you going? I get you. Nintendo 70, the man, the myth, the legend. Yes, I will save. Excuse me, I'm just gonna reach across the camera and grab my cup of coffee here. You watched the Brack Show? The Brack Show was good. I liked C-Lab a lot. That was another show that got, you know, it's like there's a... it's like there's a fine line. You can like push it so far and then it becomes too much and then it's not fun. Ooh, we got Killer Instinct. There's Killer Instinct on the Switch? Interesting. I got Killer Instinct on the Xbox and that's great. But I'd be interested to check out what they got on the Switch here. Sleep Sword. Sure. Bronze armor. Let's get Saya some bronze armor too. That person can't hold this item. I don't even know what Saya can hold here. Protect Rod? Is this a Saya weapon here? Okay. Oops, no. Can Saya have that? Alright, whatever. I think we're good here. Equip. I can't really see what item is, never getting Switch online, but yeah. You know, like, I mean, I just like the Switch. Like, I mean, if I can buy the game, I'll buy it. I'm not really into, like, these, like, kind of Netflix video game services, you know, where it's like, you know, I don't like being at the mercy of, you know, will this game be uploaded or not? You know, I'd rather just download it and own it, you know. Have I been reading any good comics lately? I just bought a manga of Fairy Tale. I've been kind of thumbing through that. Let's see. You know, a lot of the stuff I just read JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Dragon Ball, and like you know, just like Marvel comics from the '90s, some Image comics like X-Men, Wildcats, stuff like that. I haven't read any like new stuff. Like honestly, like my comic shop closed because I mean there were several reasons, but one reason was because like literally no one was buying new comics anymore. Like, you know, I don't know if it was like no one, but like they weren't selling that well, you know. So I don't know. I don't know if there's gonna be. I've never used. It never used to be a thing too. So, are you talking about like the Netflix video game services or the sad decline in the comic book industry? We can live in peace and happiness thanks to Rosa. Are you Rosa? You fat bald man. I mean, I was just thumbing through some '90s X-Men the other day. Just, you know, just grabbing random comics, you know, just like Uncanny X-Men, X-Men. You know, it was just the X-Men '97 trailer just had me thumbing through some comics. I have the Japanese X-Men manga that came out that was based on the animated series that Fox showed, and I think I saw that. I don't know if it was Viz or I think it might have been Viz. But some company was actually uploading that in graphic novel form, which I would like to get. And like they had it in English. I mean, I have the paperbacks that came out in like the late '90s. Those comics were interesting because different mangaka, you know, drew them in different periods. So it was kind of like how the American comics were doing it, where, you know, with manga, a lot of the time you have like one artist drawing the stuff, but here they were doing it kind of like the American comics were doing it. Different artists taking their crack at it, you know. Sweet anime voice acting. Ooh, Rose is our friend now. Oh, not the princess of the castle. I'll take on Jahil of the Flame. Or fail to do so. The only thing I like about old RPGs is it's just like the townspeople are just very straightforward, and I really appreciate that. Like, thank you for not making my job more difficult. I can't give anything to Rosa. Alright, well, why don't we go to the inn, catch some Z's, and then we'll go out and go kill some monsters here. I've been reading a lot of Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck's comics. Oh, like, from what time period? I like Archie comics, especially from, like, the, you know, like, 80s, 90s. I have a great kind of compilation of Archie comics from the 80s. They're really entertaining. I particularly enjoy the one where Archie dresses up like Boy George. Although in the Archie comics he was called Boy Roy to avoid copyright issues. Alright, that works. My family thinks it's a cry for help. Yeah. I watch a lot of Pluto TV. I don't really watch a lot of new stuff. I just watch like episodes of Cheers and Matlock. Just like hiding out in the 20th century before society imploded. You know? Watch some Dick Van Dyke. I like when like there's this one episode of Family Guy where it's like they were censoring everything and they couldn't say the Dick Van Dyke Show. It's the Beep Van Beep Show. Dick Van Dyke, I don't want to jinx it, man. That guy is still hanging and banging. I think he's 100 now, I think. This goes to show you're a funny, happy-go-lucky guy. You live for a long time. Reading it online. Yeah. The Switch is online. Sorry, Nintendo 70, I didn't see that comment up there. Yeah, I haven't watched any of the new episodes of Cheers. Not new episodes of Cheers, new episodes of Frasier. Because he doesn't go to Cheers and it pisses me off. Like, that is their one chance to freaking fix Sam and Diane, you know. And they're just gonna waste it. Oh, dude, I love Kojak. As a bald dude, Kojak is my hero, man. Kojak and Columbo. Like, Columbo, I like a little better than Kojak, but Kojak is, like, cool as hell, man. Like, I love Kojak. He's just the coolest. Yeah. And a trailblazer for bald men everywhere. Who loves you, baby? The other cool thing about Kojak, too, is, like, I love how you have the contrast of this, you know, bald badass, but he's really well dressed and likes lollipops. So he's got, like, personality and balance to his character, you know. Okay. Cannon's a tub of justice. Yes, he is. Banasek was pretty cool. I need to level up. Alright, I think I'm supposed to be at like level 23 here. And what am I at, like 19? Yeah, okay. Alright, so we're gonna have to level up a few levels here. I was just watching the Columbo, where he like catches the murderous Jack LaLanne guy. He you know, figures out how to cut and paste the tape together to, you know, fake an alibi, and you know, it's good stuff. I like, let's talk about Dick Van Dyke. I like the Columbo where Dick Van Dyke is like the evil photographer, and Columbo like gets him to incriminate himself by grabbing the camera that was at the crime scene, and yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, I definitely need to level up here. I mean, I'm like winning these battles, but barely. Alright, so let's walk around in circles and wait to get attacked here. I like Matlock too. I like where the actor played the hero, plays the villain. Yeah, there's another really good one where William Shatner plays like Rush Limbaugh, and it's a really interesting one. There, Columbo learns about the importance of cell phones and tower coverage to deconstruct William Shatner, aka Evil Rush Limbaugh's alibi. He had this really weird pencil-thin mustache. It was... Oh, there's another really good Columbo where Norm from Cheers kills his nephew. It involves like the mafia and horse racing. It's good stuff. Then there was one with Spock. Yeah, that was another good one. I don't know if any of you guys in the chat have ever watched the best Civil War, television ever, North and South. But there's a really good one. There's a really good Columbo where the guy who played the good Union soldier, I can't remember his name. Patrick Swayze was the good Confederate soldier. And the guy who played it wasn't Patrick Swayze. The guy who played the Union soldier, he played an evil dentist in Columbo. And he set up like a poison release in someone's tooth. That was like an interesting way to kill someone. Columbo figured it out though, so. Let's try to get to level 21 here. What's this show called again? Columbo? See, yeah, Columbo, he's like, he's, it's like, if you had just, like, a very, like, seemingly absent-minded, doofy, average, kind of disheveled Italian next-door neighbor, that was very, like, unbecoming, but kind of charismatic, and like everyone would kind of think he was stupid, but he's like just brilliant, and by the time you realize that he's smarter than you, he's already like got you where he wants you. It's great stuff. Oh no, North and South, that was great. Kirstie Alley played a rabid abolitionist. Yeah, David Carradine played an evil slave owner. Patrick Swayze played like a benevolent Confederate general. Lloyd Bridges played Jefferson Davis. It was great, and the thing I loved about it was it did like a really good job of showing both sides, because like I feel like when it comes to, I'm like a history teacher, and I feel like when it comes to the Civil War, like it's so divisive. I mean, like there's no question that slavery was terrible, and that there were situations abound where people just suffered in the most inhumane ways under slavery. There were also situations. I mean, even if you aren't suffering under slavery, it's still just by definition an immoral institution because it's dehumanizing. But not every slave master was sadistically beating their slaves. But even if they weren't, it was always on the table, which was never good. But anyway, I mean, there's a whole bunch of research about slavery's bad, but there's issues where it can be complex. And with any situation, you want to have, you want to look at your side's history in a way that makes sure that the good and the bad are mentioned. And often people want to minimize the bad and accentuate the good, and that's definitely the case with the South. And it's also definitely the case with the North. So from the Northern point of view, it's just like, well, we just freed the black people, and that was the point of the Civil War. And it's like, that was not the point of the Civil War. The point of the Civil War is to keep the country together. The country was falling apart because of slavery, but the bottom line was to keep the country together. And if you could do it with or without slavery, fine, And those were Lincoln's words. And I mean, and there were other just regional tensions too, but slavery was definitely an issue. But the South looks at it in a way where it's like, we weren't all monsters, and there were things we were fighting for our homeland, for our freedom, things like that. And if you take a look at U.S. history, there were situations where the United States was definitely the more racially regressive side in terms of like ethics for race relations, to compare to the British in the Revolutionary War and in the War of 1812. And we take a look at like focusing on the positives and things, and that we're not just a bunch of racists. So like what I'm trying to say is like North and South did a really good job of showing both sides. I don't think it particularly candy coated anything, but it showed that there were good people on both sides. There were bad people on both sides, and there were really, and especially in regards to the institution of slavery. But it did a good job of showing where both sides were coming from. And I think that empathetic historical voice is lacking in a lot of the politics that have kind of stemmed from the Civil War and the history that's been written about it. It's either like one side's great or one side's bad. And the one historian that I think did it, he's kind of controversial, but he did a good job about it. Yes, David Carradine is awesome, and Kung Fu: The Legend continues. Yes, there are episodes on YouTube. Yes, there are. There's a great episode where Patrick Swayze teaches his, I think it's his brother to duel. And there's another good one where, Patrick Swayze's in, military academy. Because they really emphasize, the Southern honor and dueling culture. And there's this, really kind of sadistic drill sergeant or whatever. And he's really bullying someone, and Patrick Swayze, challenges him to a sword fight. It's a really good scene. Anyway, what was I saying? The historical voice in the Civil War. Oh yeah, Eugene Genovese. This guy was a Stalinist. And so because he was a Stalinist, he could empathize with both sides of the old South. From his Stalinist perspective, he appreciated the totalitarianism of the institution of slavery. He would never say it, but he understood the situation of the ideal of a benevolent strongman, which he used to understand the concept of paternalism. But he was an Italian communist also, so he understood the idea of Antonio Gramsci and cultural hegemony theory, which involves people at the bottom of society, kind of manipulating the culture from within the culture to promote their interests in an unjust situation. And as a Marxist, he has to be sympathetic to the labor force. So he really did an excellent job of showing how slaves used and manipulated the concept of paternalism to make their lives as good as they could possibly be, and to show how the masters actually, while being bad, in some sense, thought of themselves as good because of their own delusions and also just the system that they were in. And Genovese did have compassion for both people on both sides of the system. And I don't know, I think it just led to some really interesting historical literature. But I went to Binghamton University, and my Old South history teacher didn't like him because she's from the side that's basically like slavery was so bad, the slaves just wanted to kill themselves. And Genovese was more like it was bad, but slaves found ways to make it work while it was bad. And I don't know, but he was very dialectical about things. He looked at both sides and tried to find mergers of interests. I'm kind of rambling here. Well, I guess now I gotta watch this. I really liked it. If you like 80s soap operas and Civil War history, it's interesting, It is kind of steamy, If you want to see, like, some girls that could play in Dynasty take a roll in the hay, Kirstie Alley's great in there. If you want to, I talked about how Patrick Swayze is like the benevolent Southerner. Kirstie Alley does a great job of like the fiery abolitionist. She's just kind of like, fuck you guys. You abuse black people. It was really interesting. And she ends up going from like really like privileged to like kind of taking the John Brown path, which by the way I don't recommend. So. Yeah, anyway, it's really cool. I remember, like very, very fuzzy memories of it from the 80s, but I use it when I teach the Civil War, just show clips from it and stuff like that, so. But seriously, David Carradine in Kung Fu: The Legend Continues is freaking phenomenal, so. Especially I love cosmic fantasy. Bro, you just exploded my mind, goddamn. Noted. Wait, what? Alright, well, there you go. Yeah, I just think, I think Jesus said it best. Like, if you can love God with all your heart and treat other people the way that you'd want to be treated, like that's really your formula for living a good life and having an ethical model for society. So that really should be the model that we all follow. To the extent that that's lacking, it's going to lead to problems, I don't know, we all kind of grapple with things. So. Much like the slaves and the masters, the tops and the bottom of society grapple with each other in a quest for, domination and coexistence, yeah. Yeah, Eugene Genovese, he's interesting because he spent most of his career as like an American Marxist historian with Stalinist sympathies, which is incredibly naive and stupid. He's like, yeah, as long as I'm not getting thrown in the gulag, right? He liked the moral clarity of communism, even though it in order to achieve its morality, it's incredibly immoral, which is stupid. But anyway, he ended up kind of getting really disillusioned with the American left, and became highly critical of Marxism from within, and he ended up becoming kind of a quasi-Republican by the end of his life. I don't know, because the Soviet mentality was very morally conservative, so shit, come on, hang in there, don't die. Are you familiar with the Bold Ones series? Yes, the theme song is awesome. I am not familiar with that. When's it from? I think I'm going to save here. I love this game dearly, but I feel like just watching me grind on Cosmic Fantasy is probably not as entertaining as for you as it is for me. So maybe we'll try a different game here. Oops. Ah! Play a little Valis. I just bought this like Phantom Breaker game. I have Ease on PC 88, but it's in like Japanese. It might be easy to check this out though, or not easy, interesting. Ah, Nihon Falcom. It's a series with different shows starring characters from different occupations. Yeah, it sounds cool. Well, it says a lot of backstory here. So a lot of story in this manual. Too bad I don't read Japanese. Yeah, I messed around with this a little bit because I saw like it was coming to the Switch on the PC Engine version, but I don't think they have it in English. I mean, how hard is it just to put like just even you don't even have to like rechange the Japanese text. Just get like just put like English translation, like even if it's kind of like sloppily done, you know, just like put it next to the words or underneath the words or something. I think it's like auto changing the discs for me. See that one blinking there. How do I talk to people? Can I just like, yeah. Oh, so I just like bump into them and they talk. That's a pretty cool system. Of course, I can't read that, which kind of sucks. Localization can be controversial, that is true. Name one 60s and 70s show that doesn't have the main character with a gun on his head while driving, threatening the gun wielder, speeding up. Rhoda. Yeah, Rhoda. She just had a bandana. Oh, man. They gotta do an English translation for this. I can't play this. Like, I mean, I don't... Let's play some Valis. I really like this game. People tend to... It gets very hard toward the part where I'm at, though. I could see people getting frustrated without save states. Go, 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 go. Yeah, I can't figure out how to beat him like that. Sometimes you get localizations that are on point, but they're kind of bad. Yeah, I mean, I personally, I personally like English, so I don't really mind the kind of blunt translations. But I mean, I do understand like the working design's philosophy of like trying to communicate the spirit of things that might not come through in translation. Damn it, I can't hit him. Let's go. If you want to see some great English, check out Yasuaki Kurata's Blood Fight. The whole movie is just done in English. It's the unofficial Japanese sequel to Bloodsport. Bolo Yang plays Chong Li. I'm not joking. I have a review for it on my channel, and it's phenomenal. One of my favorite YouTube channels is Basement Brothers. And when they reviewed the first Valis, they're like, oh, we are going to have fun with the English in this. I can't get a freaking angle on this thing here. It also got English for attacks like Digimon and Sailor Moon. That is true. This is like my favorite kind of like 16 and 8-bit game, where it's like giant, expressive anime sprites. Can't freaking hit this thing. And I don't even think I can use my bombs in the boss fights here. See, up here, I'm fine. No, don't rewind the game. You know what? Maybe this... I mean... The defense power is so low on that weapon, though. I mean, it can loop. What the hell? Let's just try it here. Oh, well, no, that might actually work. Actually, that weapon might actually do it here. So we'll use this one here. I'm surprised you don't know Japanese, seeing how accustomed you are to its culture. I used to watch a lot of Japanese television on an international channel. I would love to know Japanese. It's just, you know... I've never taken it, and it seems like a language that you need to be immersed in to get competent at it, you know? I know some Italian, not a lot. And I took a semester of Russian in college, because I minored in Russian history. I would have majored in Russian Soviet history if I could actually speak Russian, but no. Damn it, I screwed this up. Darn it! Well, at least I'm like doing some damage to it now. I already finished DBZ in Japanese. I remember watching that in Japanese on an international channel. It was the highlight of my week. Go down, you bastard. Oh, man, I can't figure this out. Watched the last episode in English, but now I'm on Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho's great. You know, I never saw the end of that series where, you know, it talks about how Yusuke was of, like, demon lineage and stuff. If I don't beat the boss this time, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the Japanese version of WCW versus the World. Well, I basically figured it out. Let me just keep trying this here. I think I've kind of figured out the pattern. DBZ is great. My only criticism of DBZ is the ending of the Boo arc. Because I think they should have had maintained Gohan as the main character. This is a rant I've done many a time. It seemed like they finally corrected it with Ultra Instinct Gohan. Not Ultra Instinct. Beast Gohan. God darn it! You know what? Screw this. I'm just gonna. All right, we'll take a break for now from Valis here. Okay, let's just take a break from the Switch in general. I've only watched the original Dragon Ball. The original Dragon Ball is great. Okay, hello people. All right. All right. It's 12 o'clock at night, so do I really want to eat the rest of my Chinese food right now? These are important questions. I probably shouldn't, you know, but then again, it's kind of like a slumber party, and you always eat food late at night during a slumber party. But at the same time, I said I was going to play that WCW versus the World Japanese version on my PlayStation Mini. These are the real problems. Have I watched... you watched any tokusatsus? I really love Jetman. So on Pluto TV, they have, you know, like the Tokusatsu Shout TV channel. And, you know, I watched Jetman, which is actually where the tropes of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers characters come from. You know, they have like the jock, the cool guy, the prissy girl, the more athletic girl, and the nerdy guy. Those are from Jetman, even though the You always throw up on slumber parties too. I don't. I have not thrown up on a slumber party, and I don't plan on starting now. Um, so anywho, the footage was from ZU Ranger, but the character tropes of the good guys was from Jetman. So yeah. PGSM. I don't know what that is. Uh, I like Gridman. That was Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. Gridman's got like awesome music. Gridman. Na 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 na. All right. Let's play some of this here. I'm on winter break. I haven't been able to hit the weight room because I have to go to school to do that, and I don't want to go to school. Not that I don't like my job, you know, but I want to be as far away from that building as possible while I'm on break. So. All right, let's turn you on PlayStation. All right, so I need to put my speaker on. Oh, live action Sailor Moon. I'm curious to see what that's like. Probably lower this a little bit here. Live action Sailor Moon is being endorsed by both people in the chat right now. I love this song. The opening to Road Avenger on Sega CD. Alright, let's play some wildly inappropriate rock, paper, scissors here. No, it's not. But we are going to do is we're going to... My little statuette fell here. Hang on here. Okay. Alright, we want to play some... virtual pro wrestling here. Live action Kinnikuman, that would be phenomenal here. I love this song. Oh, do I not have virtual pro wrestling on this one? I must have it on the other USB. Dragon Warrior 7. That would be a long road to a long road right there, but it's a good game. Ooh, Daytona Twinbee. I'm going to turn this off though because I want to have backstories explained in the interviews. Yes, that'd be great. I'm going to swap the USB drive here because I'm pretty sure that I have virtual pro wrestling on another USB drive here. So, sorry guys, I'm off camera right now. Alright, this is not what I'm looking for. This is, I think, what I'm looking for here. Alright. Alright, so I'm going to put this one. Okay. I think this is. There might have been a problem with the Virtual Pro Wrestling ROM. So this one doesn't have the games on it. This one I think goes for something else. That must be this one here. Or I could just be totally wrong. No, okay, this is the right one here. Okay, Virtual Pro Wrestling, there it is. Am I interested in the remake of Euphoria? I love Twinbee. So, my friend actually put that Road Blaster music on the other one. I figured out how to customize the music for Auto Bleem. I'm trying to find the one where I get to choose the match options. There we go. Here we go. There's Ric Flair. There's Sting. Hey, Vader. Ultimo Dragon. It's just so interesting to see the Japanese version of this. Hey, Rick Steiner. I'm gonna be Vader. I think this is exhibition. Oh, this is a tournament mode. I just wanted to do exhibition, but we'll just see how this goes here. PC Genshin Bonk. Interesting. I really like this game a lot. I do think that WCW versus the World is better just because of the WCW wrestlers that get it included in it. I mean, this does have some of the WCW wrestlers, they're just less featured. For those of you who like WWF No Mercy or, WCW NWO Revenge, this is the progenitor of them all. And I think it's got the best music. Although I feel like the ROM of this, the music may be a little slower, but I don't know if it's maybe a difference between the Japanese and American versions of this too. Yes, Hayabusa's in there. Sorry if I'm not talking a lot, I'm just focusing on beating this guy up here. Hey, Earl, how you doing, man? Good seeing you. We're playing some Japanese WCW versus the World, known in some circles as virtual pro wrestling. Well, I do... Oh, he gave up. I want to check out how Sting plays on this here. Just relaxing for the night. Hope you guys have been doing well. Yes, we have been doing well. WCW versus Zawarudo. I think this is right. Great Muda. There's Sting. Ah, man, I keep choosing this option. I don't mean to. This Y is fine as wine. Yeah, he plays the same. This is the Sting sprite that's not Crow Sting. I wonder, I gotta check, because I wonder if the music is just a little slower on this because of the fact of the emulation, or if the Japanese music is just a little slower. Scorpion Deathlock. I wonder what Sting's alternate costume looks like in this, because his go-to costume in the American version is the Crow costume. I wonder if Chono's in this. Because Chono is in the American version with his NWO shirt. I haven't played any of the Alundra games. I want to say I've messed around here and there, but like not in any serious length. Like I turned it on and I played it for a minute or two. So not really. Punch you in the face. Punch, punch, punch. It's always a kick in the balls when you get your taunt interrupted. So I've said it before and I'll say it again. This, well, at least the American version of this was my first PlayStation game. Christmas of '97. One and two are cool in their own ways. Nice. I really would like to sink my teeth into Magical Knight Rayearth on the Saturn. I have a repro of it because, you know, I'm not going to spend that amount of money on a game. Ooh, we're gonna fight Muda. Oh, so he fights in orange trunks. Oh, cool. He's like Mudo Keiji. So his alternate costume is Mudo Keiji instead of Muda. Oh, the second game was Marvel Superheroes. Marvel Superheroes and WCW versus the World. And then a week later, I got Final Fantasy VII. Those are my first 3 PlayStation games. Yeah, you know, Marvel Superheroes on the PlayStation, I actually think it... I mean, it had less frames of animation than the Saturn version, but... I don't know. I feel like the Saturn version might have actually played a little slower, which is bizarre for a 2D Saturn port. It could just be my imagination, though. X-Men Children of the Atom, I love that game. I have that on the Saturn. That plays like a dream. I don't know. I mean, it could just be my imagination. I think it might just be the load times on the Saturn Marvel Superheroes. I mean, PlayStation has long load times too. But I mean, both versions were great. Scorpion, Deathlock. Hold still. Come on. Grab the ropes. Ah! Don't give up. Don't give up. He's not doing well here. And the Sting. Move, move, move! Ah, got him. What is that when Japanese devs have Western comic book characters appear more in a game than they'd ever appear on the show? Yeah. True. Oh, my camera's slipping a little bit here. Alright. Let me see. Oh, you know what? My camera wasn't crooked. My screen was crooked. I'm an idiot. Anyway. Is this exhibition? Just like straight exhibition? Yes, that's what I want. No, I don't want it 1 versus 2 player. I want 1 versus computer. That's what I want here. Do, 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 do. I don't think they have Muda in here. There's Scott Norton. Not Muda, Chono. I meant to say Chono. It's Barbarian. Gonna be Ultimo Dragon here. And I'm going to fight Ric Flair. Marvel Superheroes was the best fighting game from. I love that game. I have the arcade cabinet. You know, I really hate all the, like the WWE fans who are pissed off that Ric Flair is in AEW and like all they do is like just shit on him in the comment section. It's pretty annoying. I mean, it's like, dude, like Ric Flair like built Turner Television. Like, I don't want to hear it. Surfboard. This game has such a just good battle system. his special character would be, her special would be accidentally killing an assist character. Alright, I gotta, like, I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. I need to focus on the match here. Gru should be it. Dude, I'm so pissed off that Howard the Duck was not in Marvel vs. Capcom. And, like, I found out, you know, like, years later that Capcom wanted to put him in, and then, like, someone from America was like, no, you can't put him in, his movie didn't do well. It's like, dude, like, who gives a shit? It's like, just the cool novelty it would be to have, like, Howard the Duck versus Mega Man, like, as his counterpart. I did not time that right at all. I really screwed that up. It's kind of got that six-pack roundhouse right there. Man, I didn't time that right. Scrooge McDuck, yeah. Well, now we could do that, now that Disney and Marvel own each other. So get him from behind here. There we go. Howard the Duck versus Scrooge McDuck. The ultimate battle for supremacy. How the hell is Luke Cage not in a Marvel vs. Capcom game? I agree. He might have been considered. Let's see what... this USB had a couple different games that didn't quite play properly, which is why I usually use the other one. Street Fighter Interactive Movie. Real Battle. Is Real Battle on film play right? Let's check it out. He's in a DC game, for God's sake. I really love this game. It's so underrated. I'm just like, I'm baffled as to why people don't like this game. It's like, it plays just like Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and it's got digitized graphics like Mortal Kombat. Like, what's the problem? Like, am I missing something here? The arcade version of this game looked great, but I didn't really like the way that it played that well. The controls on this version were just phenomenal, though. Oh, that was the problem with this game. Yeah, it was shaky. I remember, so I had my friend, yeah, this won't work, damn it. Okay. I remember my friend made these for me, and there were some games that just didn't work, so he made me a new. This was some Mortal Kombat 2. It is Street Fighter Mortal Kombat 1 game. I have this on the Saturn, which plays fine. So, I think for whatever reason, this was not released on Saturn in Japan, I don't think. I'd have to double check that, though. But, you know, Saturn sold better than PlayStation in Japan for the early going, so... And it was always competitive. Hopefully this game doesn't have the ridiculous AI of the arcade. There we go. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some Japanese people who like Western games, but I mean, especially considering how Western games are now, it's like this was like I think the peak of like the Western aesthetic. Oh, Western only games. I don't know. I mean, I know there's definitely like some people who import. That worked out. This game was fun on easy. It's gonna be the end of you, Jean-Claude Van Damme. I mean, Western games, I think, have just gotten really ugly. Like, you know, all the girls have to have, like, a giant jaw and be unattractive, you know? And it's like they've settled for this, like, you know, like, realism above style. Hi, because the only visual novel I played, Shibuya Scramble, because of the FMV Western vibes. Interesting. I should check that out, actually. I like full motion video games. My favorite one is Straw, of which I have a review of on the channel. So. Love those clouds in the background. I can't remember the last visual novel I played. Was it Miho Nakayama's Tokimeki High School? That was a good game. I want to play Mirrors, the Soft Studio Wing game where the lead singer of Depeche Mode is a reincarnation of a demon king who is being tortured by his nightmares of his past life. Shibuya Scramble. I gotta check that out. Would you play it on the Switch? Forgot what I was gonna say. I can't remember. It's getting to be about that time. part of the live stream where Noel stops making sense. Oh man. Oh, it's on Steam. Ah. Well, there goes Playhead. Fatality. Senses for the birds. Alright. Try again with Scorpion and then try with Liu Kang. There we go. That's gonna do it. I don't know any of the fatalities on Mortal Kombat 2. I had them all. Not all. Actually, I did have all of them memorized for 1 at one point, but I still have some of the ones from 1 memorized. I just don't know any for 2 off the top of my head. There we go. There's a whole Godzilla -1. I have not seen that. Sounds interesting. I will spam that and spam that. Oh, you know what I forgot to do on stream? Normally I'll get rid of that little camera, the thing that says the camera's on, and I'll minimize it and I'll put a little Sonic up. But I forgot. Let me get rid of that. There we go. Yeah, so that's what happens when you get cute. I like the music in this level. That should do it, yeah. I just realized there's a VTuber option just now. Yeah, there is. Like, honestly, that Noel you see in the corner above Sonic is the... So I can, like, make a VTuber, or like, I can do, like, a still one. And so I made that Noel, actually, from Xbox. Like, I made that on Xbox, and then I kind of edited to look a little more like me in different art programs. The VTubers that they have, I mean, like, I'm like actually on camera for this type of stream, so it's kind of like, what's the point? But if I did just do like a straight screen share stream, it's like none of the VTubers like really have my vibe, you know? So it's just I have that like Noel that I made. Oh no! I gotta deal with myself now. There we go. There we go. You know what's really weird that another thing I've noticed on stream this time? I'm not seeing the chat on the screen. I've been so just like not paying attention to things. I mean, like I see the chat on YouTube, but normally I see the chat like hardwired onto the like onto the actual screen itself. That worked. Let me check the, I'm just gonna check my options here on this. Sorry if I'm, like, taking a pause from the game here. Okay, live, that's where I'm at, and then... This is where I get my Sonic over here. Yeah, there's Sonic. Hey, go away. Yeah, I wonder why there's no chat in the corner. I mean, I'd have to probably go to settings to screw with it, so I don't really want to do that, so... but yeah, normally, like, one of the reasons I do this is because it's one of the ways I can get, you know, like, the words on the screen for replays. I mean, plus like the bezels look cool and stuff too. But yeah, you know, it is what it is. Don't worry about it. All right. Anyway, you can still see how to contact me on Friend Project, TikTok, and Venmo if you're feeling like throwing your money away. All Venmo donations go to the Noel Fund. The Noel Fund. Money for Noel. All right. Let's play. Ah! Toasty. Alright, hopefully he's not insanely cheap like in the other games. Ah, darn it. I should have jumped back. I'm gonna try Liu Kang. I'm pretty good with Liu Kang, freaking Taro. Have I ever watched weird animes that aren't based on foreign Western comics? What do you mean? I've watched a wide variety of anime throughout the years. Ah, I hate Kentaro. Darn it. Try that again. There's a glitch you can do on the Super Nintendo version where you can get him in the corner. Yes or wowzer? I don't think so. Try Scorpion again. Oh, they're not the ones that aren't animated by Japanese studios. I don't know. Kentaro. Man. I'm getting game over here. Man, they fixed the glitch. Like, there's a way to get him in the corner. Yes! I was offline for a second. That's not good. If I go offline, we will see if I beat Kintaro or not. No. Ah, damn it. This is already really bad. No! Yes! Alright, we did it, fellas. Alright, guys, so we can beat him here.
You will die. Is that your best?
So usually with Liu Kang, I'm pretty good against Shao Kahn.
Is that your best?
I thought you rage quit. No. I don't usually rage quit. Wowzer Japanese opening was the original song for the future funk song Fly Away, apparently. Ah! No! No! Oh, good. Oh, I was afraid. I was like looking at the chat and it counted down to 0. That would have been really bad.
You will die. Is that your best? Is that your best? Is that your best?
There you go.
You will die. Is that your best? Is that your best? You will die.
Yes!
No.
All right. With his Shaolin Temple in ruins, Liu Kang journeys to the Outworld, enters Shao Kahn's tournament, and unleashes fury that does not end until the defeat of Shao Kahn. Liu Kang then returns to the seclusion of his Shaolin Temple. He pays his respects to his lost brothers and finally realizes that the events which have taken place were all fulfillment of his destiny. Alright, good times. Do I have Astra Superstars for Saturn? I do not. Should look into that. Dude, I can't believe I almost got game over because I was looking at the chat. And of course, you. This is quite the credits team they have here. I don't know if I've ever beaten this game on PlayStation. Any good books I've been reading? I don't know. I think I was like thumbing through, what was it? I think I was probably thumbing through Noam Chomsky's Deterring Democracy, a couple days ago. I just have a bookshelf next to me. Like, I don't like sit down and like usually read the books cover to cover, but I don't like, I read like, I have like a lot of like, I don't really read fiction. Like, the fiction I read is like JRPGs, and then like the books I read are usually like books about history or politics or philosophy, and I just gotta have them like next to me and thumb through them. This is quite the credits here. You get to see a bunch of cool 90s guys. Cheesy rock will always live on. The guy at the bottom looks like Jax. Play as all of these guys on NBA Jam Tournament Edition with the right password. Alright, good times. I think there was something wrong with that initial D game. I just want to check one thing. Like, I'm gonna switch these back. I feel I could have sworn that the Japanese version of Mortal Kombat 2 had green blood. But I don't know. Like, he might have put the American version on there and just put the Japanese cover, because I think I specifically asked for the Japanese version. Some Steven. Usually read wrestling biographies and documentaries. You know what I was checking out with my wife was that Netflix documentary about OVW with Al Snow. It's pretty good. My wife was liking it, and she doesn't even like pro wrestling. But I think she's gotten a better appreciation of it from that. Yeah, this is definitely the Japanese version here. Yeah, wrestling books are fun to read. I mean, the thing is like, you know, you gotta kind of, like, with any, like, I don't know, like, wrestling is kind of like, reminds me of, like, being a teacher, hearing, like, a lot of stories from different mischievous students, and you have to, like, synthesize it all together to have it make sense. I just want to see if that USB had the American or Japanese ROM on it, because the blood was red, and I could have sworn I heard. I could have sworn the no, it is. It must be red. I don't know where I heard that the blood was green on the Japanese version of this. Good times. All right. It's getting late. I should probably pop in a VHS tape here. Alrighty. Let's see what we got on VHS right here. We're going to switch from HDMI to SCART on our little converter box here, which will then allow us access to our good friend the VCR. And here we go. This is where we left off last time here. So we have Daisuke Asakura here. Stephen Costigan is about the sailor of the same name who gets into scraps with stories describing all the scraps. Oh, cool, that's cool. I'm going to put the volume a little louder so you guys can hear this here. It's so weird why the chat's not on the screen. Well, I'm not going to stress about it. From the guy who wrote Conan the Barbarian. Nice. Daisuke Asakura is having way too much fun here. Yeah, this is Daisuke does have some of a visual K vibe. bit of a VHS roll there. That SCART thing is staying on the screen. Oh, there it goes. Remember a random Donald Duck anniversary song being done by a band similar? Oh, wait. Okay, so are you talking about the Daisuke Asakura performance of the Mickey Mouse March? Because Daisuke Asakura is actually a huge fan of Disney, and there was a YouTube video of him doing the Mickey Mouse March. I think I have that on tape. So, I don't know if you've watched some of the older streams, but so I taped YouTube stuff from like the, 2007 period, because when YouTube first came out, I was afraid it was going to kind of go out like Napster, and so I taped a lot of stuff on VHS. And so, at the later points in the live stream, we either watch stuff from International Channel or my YouTube tapes. And I just have a YouTube tape in here, so. Oh, good times. What else we got here? Ooh, Class, 1993. Love that song. This was done on Nico Nico Doga. As you can tell from the words flying over the screen. It was done by Alf. I love the Alfie. You can see some of that old school YouTube right there. I love this song, and the video's cool too. The youthful energy of the 90s. I watch your stuff, mostly your comics. Oh, really? So have you, read my comics? The stuff that I've made? Go for a Punch, and Yeah, Beavis 1, and Blood of the Best, or have you just watched my videos where I complain about comic books? Bloodsport 5, The Blood of the Best. That was a long one. Oh, and then I did one about my teaching called Ghost Teacher P. Oh yeah, I did. Well, thank you, man. I've never met anyone who's actually hey, I read your comics. Well, I mean, some of the guys on the stream had, International Channel 4 Life, friend of the channel. He's always been very supportive of my comic book endeavors. Well, now that you mention it, maybe I will, I can't believe you taught the Power Rangers. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, Beavis 1. Oh, yes, and also, yes, I taught the Power Rangers, yes, as they all asked to be excused from the room at the same time. So the real story behind that comic book is I actually got to write it for a class paper I had a very understanding teacher who said that, listen, I will let you guys choose the format for this paper on your teaching placements. So, so I did that for my paper, and it was like, what would education philosopher Paulo Freire think? Yours very out there. I love it. Yeah, thanks. I try to combine, you know, 80s anime, 90s anime, 90s Western comics, pop art from the 80s, you know, my own self-expression. Well, it's good to know that my my art section of the YouTube channel is, you know, appreciated. So I try to have my art look like something I would like to, like, something that, like, would strike my interest as, like, a teenager or a kid, you know? Like teenage Noel, who is still alive in Noel, you know? Like, what would he like, you know? Yeah, you know, it's interesting that you bring that up because I've actually been wanting to. I've been thinking about doing some more art videos and whatnot. Man, I love that song. Those goosebumps you have. You're welcome. What do we got next on here? Tracking lines. That's what we have. Something's coming through here. Oh, it's a live performance. Basically, what would be awesome instead of just what you could see. Yeah, working, yeah. You know, it's funny, I got into this, like, just, it's not even like an argument, like, somebody, one of my things I like to watch, comic book wise, is I like to watch those, like, headliners and legends, or comic book legends, or whatever. It's like these Stan Lee interviews with, like, comic book artists from the early 90s, and you know, my two favorite ones are Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld, and everyone just shits all over Rob Liefeld, and I don't like, I like Rob Liefeld's artwork, and you know, somebody posted a clip of Stan Lee interviewing Rob Liefeld video from the early 90s, and just everyone in the comment section was like, oh, he sucks, blah, blah, blah. And, like, I was like, you know what, like, Rob Liefeld's better than, like, everyone in this comment section, because his artwork has a spark. It has an it factor, it's vibrant, and it's fun to look at. It's like, those things are all better than being quote-unquote anatomically correct, because what we have is just a bunch of, like, boring artwork that looks like it was churned out of a grad school art class, and Rob Liefeld stuff is actually special, you know. People got, like, mad at me and stuff, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I think I also said something about, like, woke grad students putting their politics into comics and stuff, and I didn't like that or whatever. But it's like, dude, my good friend's comic shop, like, went out of business because no one was buying comic books anymore because they stopped being fun, and they just, I don't know, like, they also stopped looking. I mean, like, it's not, I think it's, like, getting better, probably, but, like, there was a, like, and still, there's just a lot of boring looking comic books, you know. I mean, I'm not saying I'm anything, you know, like, but, like, I don't know. I like my comic books to look like comic books. Yeah, 100%. Thank you for agreeing with me. Yeah, you know, and it's just like, especially, like, I love the 90s because it's like all the girls look like they're like lingerie models and these, like, crazy contorted poses, and all the guys are just like, I said this in my, like, X-Men 97 videos, like the ideal 90s comic book dude was, like, Don Johnson on steroids, you know, like, He's got like 5 o'clock shadow and like layers of muscles, you know. And usually some kind of a popped collar would be nice, you know. Same with manga. Yeah, it is true. Like, when you have like, yeah, there's like some manga, like it's still like I think manga looks great, but it doesn't. You don't get the spark of someone like a Hirohiko Araki, or like an Akira Toriyama, as much anymore. It's just that there's getting to be kind of a sameness. But I mean, the thing with mangaka that's good usually is like they do have more of their own style, So I taped this, but you're right. I think manga looked better in the 90s and 80s. So what I would do is I would just tape the same thing repeatedly, so I wouldn't have to keep rewinding it on VHS. Ooh, slam dunk. Should probably go to bed. Slam dunk. That is a pretty ass manga. The artwork in that is like stunning. It's actually really interesting. Like, so my high school has this incredibly good girls basketball team. Like, and I'm not just saying that. Like, they're probably going to go to the state finals. I hope so. And I was thinking to myself, like, could I do like a slam dunk style comic about like girls basketball? Because they're good. I mean, like, I mean, like, you always see these like memes of like crappy WNBA players, butt funky looking protagonists. Like, we're the Wanderer of Kinnikuman. Oh, who else was a great mangaka? The guy who did Video Girl Eye. I mean, he would be considered so politically incorrect now, but like, I loved his stuff. It's just like angle the camera up a girl's skirt. His lovingly drawn panty shots, He really poured all of himself into those, But see, the thing is, like, stuff like that, like, it adds energy, Like, comic books are supposed to be about male fantasy. I mean, they shouldn't, like, exclude, like, I love shoujo manga, too. Like, Yun Koga, the girl who did Earthian, or, Rumiko Takahashi, the girl who did, like, Ranma, or Uwatase, who did Fushigi Yugi, like, there's great, I like girly comics, But it's like, don't, like, take Dragon Ball and try to make it all, like, sensitive and stuff. Or Kinnikuman, for that matter. International Channel for Life. We were joking. So I ended up inheriting the whole Japanese manga series of Please Save My Earth, which is this like shoujo manga that they actually brought. So Kenny Lauderdale, the great YouTuber. The tape's over. He like there was some PBS station that he really liked out west that showed anime like before it was like popular, and one of the ones they showed is Please Save My Earth, and so my friend International Channel for Life was like, we were joking about like how like just some of the eccentricities of the shoujo manga and how boring the closing credits were. So bring back crop tops for men. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure totally pulled off those crop tops, This is the one thing I like. JoJo, like, at its best, it's able to make it's like Prince on steroids, like they're able to make the guys basically wear women's clothing but still be very tough and be able to pull it off, and still have like just very kind of like macho tropes. So that's it's really cool, like yeah, I don't know, and it goes to that kind of like that poet samurai trope, like I love that. It's like Kojak, like you have like a tough guy and then you balance it with something that is kind of out of character but kind of like adds depth to the character, like his love of lollipops. or JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, where everyone just wears lipstick. You know, that's true. Well, it's 1:39, so I should probably take a walk and wrap this up. I didn't know. Normally, I like eat on the live streams, and I didn't get to that tonight. So normally, I'll like comedically share food with the people in the chat. Bobo, he was great. Okay, guys. Well, thank you for hanging out. I will do some new artwork on the YouTube channel. I'll try to upload some. I'll get cracking on some manga. Right on. Well, guys, this has been fun. Thanks for all the chit chatting and the interest in whatever the hell it is that I'm doing. I'm pleasantly surprised I was able to beat Mortal Kombat 2 tonight, even though it was on an easy setting. So there you have it, guys. Until, yes, I should start the day. Well, I don't know what time it is where you're at, my friend, but it is 1:40 in the a.m. On the East Coast of the good old U.S. of A. So, yeah, it has been super fun. Thanks for stopping by, man, and stop by anytime. You know, it's been you have been a great addition to the chat crew. So right on. Yes, you're excited. All right, I'll do my best. Okay, guys. Well, I need to get some Z's. So stay tuned to the YouTube channel for all kinds of nonsense. And until next time, my name is Noel. You take care, and I will see you in the very near future for more Noel